You call that a knife? This is a knife. G'day, this is Captainoob, and my channel is as dead as Fallout 76. Let's just spend time stabbing things with a vampire's Bowie knife with 40% faster swing speed as a secondary legendary effect. Now, the extra swing speed coupled with the martial artist perk will make this thing swing super fast, as you've got the fast swing speed there. So the healing powers of this is going to be fairly good, provided we don't get staggered and or crippled, or a mixture of both. So using this thing while stealthy might be the best idea. What I generally do with vampires' weapons, I get myself into Nerd Rage Threshold and just use extra survivability out of the vampire's legendary effect to bolster my damage while still getting that survivability from the prefix perk. So I'm not going to do that this time. Today I'm just going to be going in full health. I'll probably get shot because I won't have all of that extra agility granted by my unyielding armor at Nerd Rage Threshold. So we're going to get shot, torn, bitten, punched, you name it, it'll happen. We'll lose health, but we'll quickly gain it back when we start stabbing things with a Bowie knife. So also I don't care about the pronunciation of it either. I'm kind of over that at this point. It is a one-handed weapon, so we'll chuck on some of these gladiator perks to boost this thing's damage a little bit. There's 9 of those, and we're going for a stealthy setup once more, and serendipity is there just to keep us around 30% health if we decide to get shot at that much. Nerd Rage is there too, so if we happen to sit around Nerd Rage Threshold without radiation gating our health, so be it. That'll just give me extra damage. Ninja and Sneak is there for sneak attack criticals. Still going for a stealthy setup with this, but with the addition of the vampire's legendary effect, we could probably get away with not doing that, but avoiding stagger is kind of paramount here because you can't attack, you can't move, which is basically a death sentence for any melee player. And with all of those things, we've got 94 damage, which is vastly inferior to any combat knife. And you know why? It's because you can't change the blade. This and the cultist dagger, for some reason, can't change the blades. So the combat knife, which you'll get much earlier, granted it does go up to level 50 in terms of its level scaling, will always outdo, despite this thing having a much larger blade. So, you know, answer that one, Bethesda. Okay, so note the damage once more. We're doing 94 versus a serrated blade and a combat knife doing 116. And if we even pull off that serrated blade to the standard, we're actually still getting better damage. And that might be because of the extra 5 levels. But yeah, I feel like you could do... the Bowie knife needs an upgrade, that's for sure. I think it'll always be inferior thanks to the base damage of it though. I wonder if the combat knife beats out the cultist dagger while we're here. Okay, so that hits for 100. This was hitting for over 100 when I've got the standard blade in it. So, yeah, I guess the 5 levels really do matter. But the fact that you can't put the serrated blade, or stealth blade if there's an attachment for that, on either of these makes them kind of suck. The combat knife is definitely the best gladiator weapon in the game. Maybe the Ripper could be good, but after they remove that extra bit of damage you get for over-repairing your things, she's no good. So I reckon that's pretty good right there. Alright, so here we are, almost at full health. Had to eat something, otherwise rejuvenated would have killed me, and that's not good. Got full unyielding stuff. This is just kind of all sitting dormant right now because I'm at full health, but as we get more and more damage done to us, it'll increase, as well as adrenal reaction boosting. That there's a lot of things that can boost melee weapons, and if you've got Bladied along with that, well, everyone knows how good Bladied stuff can be. But just as a reminder, these super mutants do have 700 health each, and it's going to take a while to actually kill them. But so far, so good, I suppose. Eventually, we'll get detected and start getting shot at, like right now. Never mind that nuclear explosion. Okay, we seem to be out-healing these guys. That super mutant just kind of forgot I was stabbing him, which is interesting to say the least. But as we get more adrenaline too, we get more damage, and we hit those doggos for 602 and 640 respectively, which is not too bad. We just power attack this guy, see if we can't get the one shot. Not quite. Looks like these super mutants are still a little bit too tanky, but we're kind of being carried by stealth right now. If you're looking for like a base amount of, I suppose, damage that you might get out of a... Okay, that's without sneaking, and it takes ages to actually hack someone down. But as a base to see exactly what the Bowie knife can do without any of the crazy buffs I usually have on, say, a bloodied version, 143 damage, which is not impressive in the slightest. That ain't no queen killing damage stat, that's for sure. whilst the damage on the weapon per strike may not be as good, you gotta remember, I'm attacking extremely fast. If you compare this to a super sledge swinging, it's night and day difference, and the DPS is great. Alright, so now I'm being whacked by dudes, and you'll find that when they block you, you can just keep hitting them, and that'll stack the healing thing on too. So, you know, that'll just add on to the survivability of this thing, and you can get in 2 to 3, maybe even 5 block strikes when they do block you, because you just kind of bounce off. There's no stagger when they block you, which I feel like is interesting. And you can also cripple them sometimes too. But you'll find that sometimes you won't be able to cripple them, which is interesting. I suppose maybe if I were to power attack these guys, I might do that. Yeah, a little bit. You don't have to worry about them pimp slapping you when they gun bash, but my leg was crippled. And I didn't do any stim packs. Let me just check my... Ooh, okay. Vampires fix crippled limbs. That's something that I didn't consider. Very nice. This does mean if you are playing in first person and the staggers are much less severe, I mean, you can really notice it if you get, like, whacked by a ghoul and your leg goes. Your character will be sitting there for, like, 10 seconds holding their leg saying, ow, leg hurt. But yeah, if you can just whack a ghoul again, which is going to be quick once you get your control back, and heal up your limb, well, that's pretty good. You can get yourself out of a lot of sticky situations, because if your leg goes, you have no mobility, and having no mobility as a melee character is a particularly bad pain in the leg, because, well, you can't move. You need to close the distance to actually attack things. That super mutant had muty Alzheimer's. I'll pinch those 5 caps off you. Thank you very much. Also, I've got 2 of these. The one I'm using now dropped on one of those Santa scorched things. It just dropped me on, which I was told that they wouldn't ever drop you, like, high level scaling gear, but the thing that ran at me, I'm pretty sure, was a scorched Conqueror, level 68 dude, so whoever told me that is a big fat liar. But we're going along. I'll just check the damage now. It probably won't be too much more impressive than what we saw before. But with the 3 times sneak attack damage multiplier, can't quite kill the super mutant warlords yet, but with the follow-up strikes that we can get out of the extra swing speed of our knives, or our knives if I had more than one. Alright, now we're being staggered, and this is where the survivability is going to be tested. I'm surprised I survived that. Oh, yeah, it's bored, no wonder. If that guy had a super sledge, I'd be very dead. And as we get more damage, adrenal reaction goes up, unyielding goes up, our attacks get more ferocious, and we're actually able to get ourselves out of that situation. Although we were kind of blessed by the leveled list there, because that super mutant spawned with a board, which is not even dangerous in the slightest. They can whack you around with that all day, and that's not going to hurt you all that much. If you had a super sledge, would have been dead right then. Also, serendipity didn't trigger either, so that was very lucky indeed. Let's not get that twisted. Okay, so apparently I've got enough damage to one-shot these guys now at 225, times that by 3, that's around 621, which is enough, which is interesting, because I honestly thought that super mutant warlords had 700 health, which, I don't know, data miners chime in. I don't want to boot up Xedit right now to figure out, is it Skyrim Edit? I think it's Skyrim Edit, to figure out how much health those guys do have. I'm going to skip that room because we've already had our fair share of super mutant kills. Let's go and kill ghouls instead. Weird lighting. What's up with that? Okay, it's story time again. And in official Captainoob canon, Winter defeated Zax. Basically, she got to oversee rank 100. She got the power armor, and she used the trust that the robot gave her to basically walk in and unplug it. It was like, hello, Overseer. What are you doing in my control room? And Winter says nothing and just, like, pulls the plug out of the socket in the wall, and Zax turns off, and then she opens up the terminal next to him and finds the System 32 folder and deletes it. So everyone's fine. Trouble is, though, that she had to kill a lot. A lot of people would actually get that, and Winter and Tinkerbell over here, they don't mind killing these monsters because they need to die, but they don't like killing people that much, you see. So, as a result, don't stagger me, you bastard. As a result, Winter's got some PTSD and she needs some time to recover. Alright, time to use my environment to my advantage. Line up on this ghoul, please. Okay, this is not as effective as the table next to the stairwell, but it seems to be working. We're in nerd rage now, which is good. We'll be out of that shortly because we're back into caution. All of that extra agility is kicked in. Not ideal. We'll quickly stab this ghoul, and there we go. We'll just take a quick look at my limb condition. This leg keeps getting crippled, but that's fine because Vampires heals it, which is absolutely awesome. So, you know, Vampires Gatling Plasma, explosive. Well, that could probably be... There we go. Best, probably a really good PvP weapon if you don't want to chuck on something like, I don't know, unless the health regeneration doesn't work when you whack players. I've heard that it doesn't, but I'm not really sure about that. But yeah, if you want to run a 3 point, or not use 3 points in endurance somewhere, although having the extra health would, but might be something to consider, provided you can actually get extra, you know, the heals from attacking players, because you will hit them heaps of times. Also, Miranda got a facelift. She looks a little bit different now, closer to what her Fallout 4 variant looks like. Not perfected, but looks better, to be honest. So, back to story time as I go and run to kill where Swan is. So all of the times where Winter is now playing Nuclear Winter, she's actually won overseas, she's turned off Zax. All it is, canonically, is just a nightmare because she's got PTSD. She keeps getting flashbacks and nightmares from it. She'll be right. She's getting therapy right now from the combat medic because she was a nurse pre-war and a psychologist and a psychiatrist, and she's just giving her therapy, right? So we're all good. Speaking of all good, looks like we'll be all good to kill Swan, and that's given us most of our health back, which is good. Our attacks were getting slightly weaker every time there, but managed to take him out with no problem at all. We'll keep the rads there, I don't care. Okay, in come the super crabs. I'm gonna get him with a knife. We'll see how well we do. Now I've got... He was trying to flex on me for a second. We've got the glow sight perk at rank 3, so... These glowing ones should be a piece of piss, very nice, and the glowing Myalert Kings, which are a particular problem. Come back here, where you going? Stop waddling away from me. Easily taken out. We're healing more, which means we're getting slightly less damage as we go along. Don't have to worry about these rads all that much. I stabbed that one in the carapace, still made the fleshy sound, so that's pretty good, I guess. We could just get a grenade out there. There's the queen out, and I want to get her in the legs, because she's a little bit weaker there. And if we can get a quick cripple on them, probably not going to happen, but we got the kill on her before we were detected, which is nice. Just go stab this one. Yeah, take that, you crab bastard. Is that almost 273? Oh well, not quite there yet. 158. So, you know, probably being carried by the 3 times multiplier here, but you know, stealth is very important when it comes to melee characters when we've got healths of like 255 max and 2 endurance, so it's good, it matters. What's with the fog? Alright, let's see how far we can get without using our glorious sneak attacks, and you know, being able to reload without losing all of my armor effects is very nice. See, like I predicted, not a lot of people talked about how fucked the armor system was and all of those bugs. Jim Sterling did, but I guess he's a little bit more switched on. All of the people started talking about Bethesda and Fallout 76 again when the cheaters happened. So, you know, just as Count Dooku predicted epic prequel memes, this Deathclaw has got to go. Hey, there's a Sander. See, this one's level 68. I'm in a spot of bother here. There's a lot of Santas happening right now, and all I can hear is the jingle bells. Alright, back in caution now, and I think we got to sort out these scorchbeasts. There's a lot going on right here. In fact, I'm just going to knock out his legs, so there we go. Basically defenseless now. All it's going to take is... Okay, that's not helpful at all. Fuck it, I'm backing the survivability of this thing. I'm taking the risk here. I reckon we'll be going alright. And we got a Mutant Slayer's combat armor chest, which is not great. Don't worry about the rads, that'll only get us extra damage. Hey, you can't do that. My god, what a mess. Okay, maybe I should do some Radex right now. There's so much. It's so dense. Everything has so many things attached to it. Every shot has so much. I'm deaf now, thanks. No, I'd like to attack the scorchbeast, please. Because these guys are the elephants in the room. There goes one wing. Take out the right and left, and he's coming down. That's him over there, is it? Sure is. We're in caution. For how long? Not really sure. But main thing is, okay, they're denying my area thing. I'm gonna get the blight. Just stab him. There we go. Very nice. Just got to keep ourselves alive. I saw 1200 damage there. That was interesting. Back the survivability. Back it. It'll be fine. Just don't panic. Alright. Gotta take out the wings again. Come on, concentrated fire. Good shoddy. Did I just see another thing spew out of the shithole? Or is that just catching up on the other scorchbeast that happened before? Alright, well if you insist on landing... Ooh, tricky. Fine, I'll just stab you without the use of VATS. Fine. That's how it's gonna be. So, we've had quite a... If I was at Nerd Rage Threshold, I'd be dead, so... I backed the survivability and it's paid off, except for the fact where I'm hitting my enemies and it's not doing jack. Hey, I wonder if I... No, I've still got one gun army on. I probably should have chucked on Class Freak, but... actually, that could give me a little bit more health, actually. Yeah, what's Class Freak doing off? That was dumb. Should have put that on. Okay, the extra health that I gained from not having adrenal reaction didn't do too well, but... Yep, I think I'm going to leave things off there. That was a pretty tough situation. We were able to get out of it using sneak... Not the sneak attack criticals because I had Enforcer, but... With the survivability, I surely would have died. I think rejuvenated procced a few times, so if you're interested in this weapon, I've got 2 of them, so, you know, you just have them. I don't want anything. I'm at max caps. What are you going to give me that's better than a bloodied fire rate LMG? Thank you for watching, guys.